What if the key to NATO's future wasn't forged in a high-tech lab, but was buried for centuries in the frozen, silent forests of the North? In modern warfare, we trust in data, in satellites, in technology that sees for miles. But a new doctrine is quietly spreading through the West's most elite units. A doctrine of resilience that teaches soldiers what to do when the screens go dark and the satellites go blind. To find this secret, we must travel back in time to a land of endless winter and primeval forest. A land that forged a spirit so powerful it has echoed through centuries. This is the land that birthed a unique kind of warrior, and they have something to teach us all. Ancient Finland was a crucible. Squeezed between ambitious powers from the east and west, its people had only one true ally: the land itself. They were the forgotten foragers, masters of an environment that was both provider and adversary. Survival wasn't a hobby, it was a constant daily war against starvation and cold. This perpetual struggle forged a unique national character, a concept encapsulated in a single, untranslatable word: Sisu. Sisu is often mistaken for courage or machismo, but it's deeper. It's a kind of rational, stoic determination. It's the second wind of the soul. It is the will to act and persevere, long after all hope seems lost. It's not about ignoring the odds. It's about acknowledging them and deciding they simply don't matter. This psychological armor became their greatest weapon. It allowed small bands to face down entire armies, not with brute force, but with superior cunning, patience, and an unbreakable will. This spirit would be tested like never before when the 20th century brought a titan of industry and steel to their doorstep. The Soviet Union, a military giant, demanded Finnish territory. Finland, a nation of just 4 million, refused. The Red Army invaded, expecting victory in days. They brought over 500,000 men, thousands of tanks and aircraft. Finland met them with a handful of divisions, outdated equipment, and the forest.
Are you sure about that?
The Soviets were road-bound, tied to their heavy machines and long supply lines. But the Finns, they could fly. They weaponized their Sisu and their ancient knowledge into a devastatingly effective strategy: the Motti tactic. Motti is the Finnish word for a pile of firewood. The tactic was to chop the long enemy columns into bite-sized logs. First, they would strike the front of the column, felling trees to block the narrow forest road. Trapped and immobile, panic would set in. The column was now a snake with its head cut off. Then, the Finns would attack the flanks, disappearing back into the forest before any response could be mounted. They let the Finnish winter, General Winter, become their most powerful ally. Isolated, freezing, and starving, the Mottis would wither. Only then would the Finns move in to eliminate them, one by one. At the Battle of Suomussalmi, 2 Finnish divisions annihilated 2 entire Soviet divisions, capturing hundreds of tanks and trucks. The forest also birthed a new kind of psychological terror. Soldiers spoke of ghosts in the snow, of the White Death. This was Simo Häyhä, a simple farmer who, with his rifle and his Sisu, became the deadliest sniper in history. He used no modern scope, preferring the reliability of iron sights that wouldn't fog or glint in the sun. He was more than a soldier. He was a psychological weapon, sowing paranoia and terror deep within the Red Army's ranks. Finland eventually lost territory, but they won an impossible victory. They saved their nation. They proved to the world that resilience, ingenuity, and spirit could defy overwhelming force. And this lesson was not forgotten. Today, in an era of new threats, it's being reborn. In modern hybrid warfare, conventional superiority isn't enough. Armies can be paralyzed by attacks on their tech, their logistics. The Finnish model teaches us how to fight when that happens, how to operate decentralized, how to live off the land, how to make every soldier a self-reliant warrior. Welcome to NATO's Cold Weather Operations course. The classroom, the unforgiving Arctic Circle. Here, soldiers are stripped of their reliance on technology and taught the ancient ways. They learn to build shelters not with kits, but with what the forest provides. They learn to use skis not for recreation, but for tactical mobility, becoming silent predators in the snow. The principle of Motti is alive and well, now called decentralized command, empowering small units to act independently, to strike hard and fast, and to melt back into the landscape. Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape, SERE, training, is the modern crucible for forging Sisu. Soldiers are pushed to their physical and psychological limits, forcing them to discover that inner reserve of strength when everything else is gone. This isn't just for special forces anymore. These skills are seen as essential for the modern soldier, preparing for a future where conflict may be fought in the dense, complex terrains, where the Finnish tactics are not just relevant, they are supreme. They learn the land is not an obstacle, it's an arsenal. They learn that silence is a weapon. And they learn that a single soldier with Sisu is more valuable than a squadron of drones. It's a full circle return to the foundations of what makes a warrior, a fusion of ancient wisdom and modern technology, preparing for a future where resilience may be the most decisive weapon of all. The lesson is clear. To master the future, you must first understand the lessons of the past. The forest remembers. The snow remembers. They remember the spirit of the hunter, the forager, the warrior who refused to break. A spirit that valued calm determination over blind fury, patience over aggression, and ingenuity over overwhelming force. Because the ultimate secret that ancient Finnish warfare taught NATO today is a timeless one. That beneath the armor, beyond the technology, and behind the rifle, lies the one element of warfare that can never be hacked, jammed, or rendered obsolete. The human spirit, its capacity for Sisu, its will to endure, its spirit is eternal.